Hello again, everybody. It's Mr. Scott, your favorite middle-aged metalhead, and I'm here today to give you my thoughts and my review of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the new movie that came out on Netflix on February 18th. Now, just a little bit about myself. I am a horror fan. I am a longtime, diehard fan of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, the classic from Tobe Hooper, 1974. As it kind of goes with the franchise of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it's a love-hate relationship. Texas 2, I like that one. Texas 3 is okay, I guess. It's kind of just its own universe. Texas 4 is a waste of time, in my opinion, should never been made. Remake, 2003, good for what it is. You know, it loses the feel and the emotion of the first movie, and it's pretty much all about gore and shock and all that stuff. But it was very successful. You can't deny the success of that movie. It reinvigorated the reboot craze of the 2000s with the other horror movie franchises too. Texas Chainsaw, the beginning, didn't like that one. Texas Chainsaw 3D, I actually don't mind that movie in some respect. Yeah, there's timeline issues and various details like that. As far as Leatherface is concerned, the movie that's supposed to be a prequel to the original, never saw it. Read about it, doesn't interest me, didn't want to bother, not going to. End of story. So now we've got the 9th movie in the franchise, which is the 3rd direct sequel from the original. Oh, by the way, I did do a whole video about my thoughts about this entire franchise. There should be a card popping up over here somewhere. If you don't, there'll be something at the end of the video you can check out too, where I pretty much do an exploration of the law of diminishing returns when it comes to movies of this franchise. With all that background being said, let's talk about this movie. I'm going to talk about what I liked first and then what I didn't like. The first thing I definitely have to say I really like from this film is the cinematography. It is beautifully shot. Like some of the crane shots they have, just having light flowing through the glass window upstairs of the orphanage there, and you see like the haze demonstrating the hot Texas air just kind of dangling and dancing in the light. There's an imposing like doom associated with the film too in some scenes. Even though it might be daylight, there's still like this overwhelming aura of gloom that is happening, that's going to just take place and you can't stop it. So that was very well done. Second thing I like about the film is the sound engineering. I thought that was very well done too. There's a lot of detail to the sound here. Just the creaking of the old floorboards, the upstairs in the orphanage was enough to create anxiety. Leatherface just pulling on the cord on the chainsaw, trying to get it started. Not actually starting it up, but just the incessant pull and pull and pull, trying to get it going, was building tension every single time he'd pull the string. So really well done with the sound design overall in the film. And third, the kills. Let's be honest here. If you're a fan of blood, guts, and gore, oh my God, do you get it. The movie is called Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and the ironic deal of the first movie is that there's hardly any chainsaw massacring going on in the film. There's a little bit, but not a lot. If you're a fan of the gore, you're going to get it a lot in this film, so sit back and enjoy. That pretty much sums up everything I liked about the film. Now we're going to go into stuff I didn't like. Number one, the story is weak. Let's be honest here. I'm not going to get into the whole political debate that everybody wants to get into, apparently. Not everybody, but a majority of people want to get into with this film, with the millennials and the woke culture and cancel culture and all this other stuff in there. That is an aspect of Texas Chainsaw Massacre that's underlying. The first movie dealt with the hippie generation and the hippie mentality at the time. The second movie delved into the yuppie philosophy of the day in the 80s. So it's there in the history of the franchise, and it's just exploring that aspect here. But it's just an excuse to get a bunch of people in one small area for the killer to take out. That's it. And to use this storyline, I thought it was weak. It doesn't do anything really to make the movie exciting in any way. It could have been a birthday party. It could have been a high school reunion. It could have been the funeral of a victim of the Sawyer family. Speaking of that, that leads to the second thing I didn't like. There is no reference to the Sawyer family at all. None. We know Nubbins, the hitchhiker, dies in the first movie, but the cook and grandpa, we never find out what happened to them. Did they get caught? Did they die? What happened? We don't know. Being this is supposed to be a direct sequel, you would expect more aspects to be there that would lead in from the original, and they're not there. That's another big miss with this film. The other connecting thing with the movie is the Polaroid picture that Sally has. Speaking of Sally, the third thing I didn't like about the film, Sally Hardesty is pointless in this film. She does absolutely nothing to further the story. Nothing. She's a ranger now. She survived the onslaught in 74. She becomes a ranger. She is there to right the wrongs, fight the fight, be the big run-in hero at the end of the movie, which she does, But, spoiler alert, she gets killed off. And for a Texas Ranger, she has the sharpshooter expertise of a stormtrooper. Let's face it, she could not shoot nothing here. The woman walks up into Leatherface's house, into his room, goes face to face and face and face with him, and doesn't do anything. She knows he's a killer. She knows he's a murderer. He killed her brother, but she just stands there looking for some kind of recognition. Do you remember me? Who cares? Shoot him. It's that simple. You're a cop. He's a criminal. Take care of business. It's Texas, for God's sake. But regardless, you don't get that. She doesn't even do anything to save the girls, the protagonists in the movie. She doesn't do anything to teach them anything, to help them save themselves. So she's really pointless in the film. To bring her back just to kill her off, I thought was bad. Cheap. Not a good call. Now let's talk about the big franchise player in this movie, Leatherface. One thing, though, I did like about Leatherface, I like the look. I think the look is very good. It stands out. It's iconic in this particular movie. And I think Mark Burnham, who portrayed Leatherface, did a good job with what he had to do in playing the character in this movie. That being said, the motivation of the killer is the fact that his surrogate mother dies in his arms and he goes on a revenge binge. Slasher, serial killer killing people because his mommy died. Where have I heard this before? Oh yeah, he's Bubba Voorhees. That's right, Leatherface has been reduced to being Jason Voorhees. Number one, not only does he go on a revenge binge because his mama died, he can teleport now. Yes, he can teleport. He has new supernatural powers, folks. Leatherface can teleport now. It's in the film. You'll see it yourself. When he goes around the corner and Sally follows him right behind him, he's gone. You can't find him. Disappears down an alleyway to come firing out of the other side of the alley at lightning speed. By the way, he's supposed to be in his 70s at this point. He should be arthritic. He should have heart disease and diabetes. Okay, so he should not be able to run that fast, that quickly, and catch up to anybody 50 years his junior. Okay, that should not happen. Leatherface kills because his family trained him to be a killer. He doesn't kill because he necessarily wants to, but that's what he knows. That's all he knows. He is a tool of their anger. They motivate him through fear. And in this movie, he doesn't have any fear because he has no family around him. So without the family there, all he has the motivation of his mama dying, Virginia, the lady who ran the orphanage. Not even his real mother, by the way, but still, that's what we have, which is another weak storyline. It just doesn't do much for that. Also, he can take gunshots and he's not affected by it. He can take a chainsaw uppercut. That doesn't kill him. And finally takes a big bump into a pool. He bubbles out of his mouth, cuts a big fart, and supposedly drowns. You think it's over, but it's not. And this is where trailers give away too much stuff, because as the girls are coming out of the building that they kill him in, and they're walking back to their car, I'm thinking of the trailer. And there was one scene in the trailer where Leatherface was dancing around this open courtyard in the daylight with the chainsaw, and I hadn't seen it yet. And I thought to myself, I put 2 and 2 together, I got 5, and I said, please, I literally said out loud, please don't do the obligatory ending scene jump scare. There it was. He shows up, he pulls the girl out of the driver's side, puts her down on her knees, and with one hand, one arthritic 70-plus-year-old hand with a running chainsaw, cuts off her head, holds it up like Perseus holding a Medusa's head at the end of Clash of the Titans to the Kraken, while the sister gets driven off autopilot in their car, and does a final swash at the camera. I literally said F you to the TV. One and done for me. I can't watch it again. I got to be honest with you guys. Halfway through the movie, I'm like, yes, this is going good. I like this. That bus scene is brutal, gory, visceral, everything you want. Yes, okay, cool, we got that. And then once Sally shows up, that's when everything goes downhill. Cram every modern-day horror movie cliche up its butt sideways with a chainsaw, literally, and that's what you get. I could not, would not, should not ever see this movie again. If you like it, I ain't hating on you at all. If you like the movie, then watch the movie and enjoy it. Sit back and enjoy it with your friends, your family, and just have a good time watching it. If you did like the movie, please let me know in the comments what you liked about it. Maybe there's some of the things that I did too. Maybe there's something else I missed. Like I said, I only saw it once. You can only catch so much in one pass. Maybe I missed something. Please let me know in the comments why you didn't like it. If there's something there too that I didn't pick up on, you can throw that down in the comments too. I wouldn't mind that at all. And of course, if you did like this video, I'd ask you to give me a like. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know when I post new stuff. Thank you all very much for stopping by, my friends. You stay decent out there. Hearts and horns.